Hello, and welcome to Dr. Phil, Dr. Carrot, a show where you talk and I listen. Now, today we're going to be discussing a very important topic, depression in the elderly. We're going to talk with Mildred from Wisconsin, and she's going to be sharing her experiences with us regarding her struggles with depression. She's going to share what her day-to-day life looks like with us, and she's going to share some of her past with us as well. Now, finally, we're also going to be talking with Dr. Autumn King, Carrot, and he's going to share some insight with us regarding what her treatment options might look like and what is best for her. Before we carry on with our show, I'm going to give you a brief overview regarding depression in the elderly. Now, more light should be shed on this topic, and this is because the subject of depression in the elderly is not often discussed with our society, our day and age. And unfortunately, according to my study here, which is titled Late Life Depression and Quality of Life in Geriatric Evaluation and Management Unit, less than half of geriatric patients with the diagnosis of depression ever receive treatment. This often leaves depressed elderly individuals to experience a poor quality of life and continuation of suffering from symptoms of depression, such as anhedonia, feelings of worthlessness, fatigue, inability to think, thoughts of death, and so on. Now, one more important topic I'd like to discuss with you is the importance of one's physical condition in regards to depression in the elderly. According to my previously mentioned study, the physical condition of the individual is weighted more heavily in depression in the elderly than in young adults with depression. There's often a comorbidity of conditions, whether biological, psychological, and or social, which may contribute to the depressive-like symptoms. Now, back to our guest today. We're going to meet with Mildred, and she's going to share her experiences with us, and we're going to see what we can do for her. Now, how does that sound? Okay, enough with my talking, and let's welcome Mildred.
Bum ba bum bum bum, 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 bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum bum ba bum.
Hello, Mildred.
Hello, Dr. Carrot.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you came on the show today. Why don't you begin with what a day in your life looks like?
I wake up at 5 and I have some tea. Then I usually go and sit in my chair and watch the morning news. Around 7, I will start getting ready for the day. This includes getting ready for breakfast and sometimes doing my hair. I will eat some toast and oatmeal for breakfast. I sit in the recliner most of the day and read a book or watch the news. Around 1, I'll eat some soup or a sandwich for lunch. I take a lot of naps throughout the day. I eat dinner around 5. Sometimes I'm not that hungry, so I skip dinner. I tend to go to bed around 7 or 8 at night. Not much happens in my daily routine anymore. After my husband and my best friend passed away, and my children live so far away, so I'm really unsure of what to do. I wish there was more I could do with my day, but everyone being so gone and living so far away, and my bad knees, I feel there isn't much I can do.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear about your husband and your friend. That must have been really difficult for you.
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, it was difficult. My husband and I were very close, and I was very sad after his death. And I took some medication to help.
And did your medication, did it make you feel better? And are you still taking that medication?
Well, the medication did help. I only took it for around a year. My friend Carol really helped comfort me, though, and she kept me company after his death. She passed away 3 months ago.
I'm so sorry to hear that. You said your children live far away? Do they come and visit you?
Well, they did, after my husband's death, for a while. But they all have families of their own, and they have really busy lives. So it's really hard for them to visit me.
So do you get pretty lonely? Are there any activities you can participate in? Any hobbies you do in your spare time?
Well, I used to go to church groups to visit my friends. I also used to play bingo a lot, but I haven't been feeling up for it lately. I have bad knees, and it's hard to get around to places anymore. I don't do too much during the day, really. I just take a lot of naps, you know?
Yes, sleep is very important. But are you sleeping well at night? Do you feel tired all the time, or do you have trouble falling asleep at all?
Well, I do have trouble falling asleep sometimes at night. It's hard for me to fall asleep, and when I wake up several times throughout the night, then I'm tired during the day, which is why I take so many naps, you know? I really feel just too tired to do anything. I used to cook a lot, but now I'm just really so tired.
Well, let's see. Do you have any trouble doing any other activities because you're so tired? Have you lost weight at all because you're cooking less?
I have lost a lot of weight since my husband died, I guess. It's also a lot of work for me, though, just to, clean the house. But that's also because of my bad knees, you know.
Yes. How is your health overall, though? I mean, how would you say? For someone your age, you know?
Yeah, well, I would say overall it's pretty good for someone who's 80. I have my bad knees, you know, though, and I have a pacemaker that was put in 10 years ago. So it's hard for me to get around, but other than that, you know, I don't have cancer or high blood pressure or anything. I would say I'm pretty average for my age.
Well, that's good to hear. So your main concern is feeling down all the time and being too tired to keep up with your daily activities and interests. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
All right. So do you know when you started feeling down? Has this been going on for a while?
Yeah, well, obviously I was feeling down after my husband passed away. I felt better for a while after taking my medication. But after Carol, my friend, passed away, I really started feeling down. But I would say it all started after my husband's death. I feel anxious all the time, you know, and I just don't want to die or get sick or anything and leave my children alone. But I also don't want to be lonely just for the rest of my life.
That sounds pretty hard. I can't imagine it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take into consideration the information that you've given us, and we're going to bring out a specialist who may further help you with understanding things.
That sounds good to me. I can't wait to see what he has to say.
Hello, Dr. Carrot and Mildred. My name is Autumn King Carrot, and I am a licensed psychiatrist that specializes specifically in geriatrics, which is the older population. I typically work with a variety of different disorders, but I mostly work on research of depression in the elderly. Now, Mildred, I heard most of your discussion with Dr. Carrot earlier, and it sounds like you lost a lot of interest in your hobbies, your social life, and finally your daily routine. This seems to all come about after the death of your husband and your best friend. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. You let me have a look over your previous medical records, and it seems that you have taken SSRIs for a short period of time, and they have had a positive effect. You have been previously diagnosed with MDD, major depressive disorder, with anxious distress, but you have not sought any treatment since this relatively new diagnosis. There also looks to be no serious history of mental illness in your parents, but your grandmother suffered from depression for most of her life, and your sister has been diagnosed with panic disorder. Now, I would say looking over all of your records and compiling this list of information, you do meet the DSM-5 criterion for depression. Are you in agreement and on the same page with everything I just addressed?
Yeah, all of your information seems to line up.
Now, my thought process for your treatment is one in which there are multiple paths to go down. One thing may work for you, while others don't work, and together we will work to find the ones that work best for you, Mildred. Because SSRIs worked in the past, the first treatment steps will be to start with those. However, we are going to increase the dosage slightly since you have used them previously. This time around, I want you to understand, just because you feel good does not mean you should stop taking them. They are what is going to help you, and they'll be making a difference. Now, cognitive behavioral therapy will also be started to improve your overall thought process and your behaviors. The goal will be to help you socialize more in your community with friends and family, as well as encourage you to be independent as possible. How is that sounding so far?
Wow, that does sound like a great plan. How long will it take for me to get better? What does the timeline look like? I just want to be happy again.
There are certainly no timelines set in stone. This is a process and it will certainly take time, but each day you will improve and get better. Every day you will find new meanings to life and notice more things that you've missed out on. Mildred, you need to be the one to change and get better. I can't do that for you, though it already seems like you want to change and find a life that you want to live. As long as you're willing, we can start as soon as possible.
Wow, I wish I would have done something earlier and met someone like you, Dr. Autumn King Carrot. I think this is going to make a world of difference.
So, I just want to say thank you, Mildred and Dr. Autumn King Carrot, for being on the show today. Seems like you're on the right path, and Dr. Autumn King will be there throughout your entire journey. Now, I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today, so let's take a look next time on Dr. Carrot, Unmatched but Still Unhappy. Tune in to find out more about Sally's crazy life and where she's at today on Dr. Phil. Dun 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 boom 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 boom.